and welcome to Subjective Thoughts. And our comic for today is A Vicious Circle, Book 1 by Boom Studios. Now there is violence, blood, weapons, killing, murder, time travel, people with advanced futuristic enhancements that look creepy, and more violence in this one. So if you are in any way squeamish, you have been warned. Also, spoilers. Alright, here is our team. Out of here, I've only heard of Lee Barmeo, though I can't really put an image of his art in my head. So this is my first actual exposure, I think. Unless he drew it in another comic I read and I just forgot about it. Happens. Okay, well that's it. Now, this is a fairly recent story. Fairly recent comic that came out. I'm not sure when it came out. It came out in the U.S., but I think it was somewhere in December. Last year. As we're now in January of 2023. The 6th of January. Right, so... yeah, I saw Kamikaze posted about it, obviously, way earlier. Because we have to order it, if we want it, we need to ask for it in advance here in Israel. And I went for it. It was, as you can see by the size of it, let me show you a comparison. It's bigger than a regular comic, as you can see here. Much bigger. Yeah, like right here, and also like this, you can see. So yeah, it was more expensive, but the story sounded very interesting, so I decided, you know what, I'll go for it. And here we are. Alright, so let's get to the story. So we start our story in, we see a man, it gives us a monologue. What was he talking about? Again, in the beginning, something about, nightmares, right. Nightmares, the world will end. We hear his thoughts and things in the comic book as we read on. So he's dreaming about it, he wakes up and there's a circle that keeps growing, a black one, until we see his eye. I'll wait until I show you the art in here. It's amazing. And the one at the beginning especially. Very photorealistic. Like this cover, by the way. Just awesome. But yes, he probably dreams about it. He wakes up. He's in... By the way, I had to tell myself. So this man is named Sean Tucker. Yeah, I'll leave his name up here because I'm not sure if I pronounced the surname correctly. He wakes up in bed next to his wife. His son Tommy's running up to him, telling him, "Come on, Dad, you said we'd go fishing today." So this is in America, in New Orleans, the 1950s. I wasn't too far off. I thought this was definitely before the 70s when I read it, just based on the historical events inside. So yes, he tells him, so Sean tells him, "Well, come on, did I promise?" He said, "Yes, alright then." So he tells his son, "Come on, let's go before your mom kills us for, she wants to sleep." His son runs to the kitchen, Sean kind of looks back and he sees his wife looking at him all lovingly. He goes downstairs with his son and starts making him breakfast, They're talking about the segregation stuff on the radio. Sean hears something. He's listening. And then he's like, I have to go about work. I have to go to town about work for a bit, Tommy. That's his son's name. So we'll go fishing after I come back. And his son asks him, "Can I go get the fishing rods?" Right? Yeah, fishing rods. Or pools. Fishing pools? You know what I mean. And then Sean looks at him all serious, all serious and tense now. Now you know the rules. You don't go down to the basement. That's where a monster lives. So Sean goes down there, and in the basement there's a door. It's got a bunch of locks on it. And he goes in, and inside the room in the basement, there's a man chained. He's sitting on a chair, and his hands are chained to the wall. And he's got this leather mask, almost kind of like Hannibal Lecter in a way. And Sean doesn't talk to him much, and the man asks, so is today the day? Today the day we end the world. Sean tells him quiet, and he has an egg with him, and he breaks it inside his mouth. I mean, with this mask, and like where his mouth is, there are like 3 bars in front of it. So I guess I kind of like with Hannibal Lecter, but for him it was different. And he cracks the egg so he'll drink it. And then he leaves. He closes the door. He takes the fishing rods. Tommy's like at the top of the... He's at the door to the basement because you have to go down some stairs. And Sean tells him, Tommy, don't go down here. What did I say? And then his mom, Elise... I think his wife's name is Elise. I'll leave her name here too. I had no idea how you're supposed to pronounce it. Perhaps I'm correct, it's just spelling sometimes confuses me. And tells him, come on, son, let's go. So he goes, Sean goes up, gives the fishing poles to his son. His son says, but Dad, it doesn't have any string, the rope. And he said, I'll buy some when I'm in town. So Sean takes a truck and he drives through the city. You see protests and shit. And he goes to this club. Goes there and there's a bar. It's just the barman and an old... actually, yeah, they're all black. All black gentlemen and the black bartender. I'm guessing it's a club for black people then. Just based on the guy you see in the entrance too. Yeah, I think so. So he goes to the old man. The barman, I think, gives him a drink. Perhaps. It's like, Sean, is that you? This old gentleman, he's blind. You can see he's blind. You can't see. Based on how his eyes are. Now, what Sean's been doing, because the thing is, Sean is from the future. A very far, far future. I'll get more into that later. And he knows all the events that are going to happen. So the way he makes money, it seems, for this brief period we see it in, is that he bets on events, because he already knows the outcome. He bets money on them and obviously wins a lot of money. Because he knows already what's going to happen. So he tells him, I'm putting 5,000 on this and that. And just imagine, back then 5,000 was a lot of fucking money as well. And the old man's like, how do you know all these things? We've been coming here for over, I think he said for 10 years, so... Looks like Sean's lived there for 10 years, something like that. I'm not sure how old Tommy is. I don't think he's exactly 10, maybe 8, 9, perhaps. But yes, he's been coming there for 10 years already, betting and shit. Or was it? I think he said, 10 years, I think. And he's like, how do you do it? How do you bet correctly? And Sean looks at the old man and says, I'm from the future. And the old man gets really angry. He's like, well, you could have told me you don't want to tell me and to fuck off. You don't have to patronize me. And Sean apologizes and drives back home. But yeah, obviously most people will think you're crazy if you say that. So Sean goes home and actually he has a really fucking nice house. It's very big. I didn't, it's not noticeable at first. No, obviously when he's inside. So he approaches, he has a monologue about his son, how his life's gonna be, and all that. And you see in his hand he has the string for fishing. He got it. And he goes up, and we see that the door's open. Which is weird. Now, they do live, it seems like, very far away from town. Or at least somewhat far away. In this big house. And you don't see any neighbors around, basically. So he goes there. He goes there. He enters in, and as soon as he opens the door fully, we see that his wife is lying on the floor. Unconscious. He quickly runs to her, he checks her pulse. She has a good pulse still. And then he runs down to the basement, and sadly we see little Tommy. And he had his, I'm not sure what he's done to him. He hit him very hard. The guy that was chained in the basement. He hit Tommy very hard, wounded him mortally, and he's dying. Sean cries like, no. He grabs both his son and his wife and drives them to the hospital. Then we're at the hospital. His wife wakes up. He said, "Hi, my love." And she's like, what happened? Where's Tommy? And Sean looks at her and says, "He's in the other room. He's dying. He's going to die soon, and as soon as he dies, I'm going to disappear as well." Now, when he said that, I thought that maybe it's like with the time traveler's wife. The book, that is. Because in the book, it was a bit of a detour. I thought he was, somehow connected to Tommy. If something happened to Tommy, he'd disappear. And that's why the guy in the basement killed him. Because now in the time traveler's wife, they can't conceive because her husband keeps getting pulled into the past. And everything gets pulled with him. If he has any problem with his teeth, he can't put in, something there because it won't come with him. If it's not a part of his body, it'll stay there. But also everything that's part of his body goes with him. That's why every time he gets pulled back, she has a miscarriage. So maybe because of that, he's going to disappear. But no, I was wrong. We'll get to that later. So his wife was silent for a second, and she said, "Let's go see him." So they're in Tommy's room. He's connected to machines, but he doesn't have long. And Sean talks to his wife, I never should have. I should have put my head down. I shouldn't have gone into your life. Now his wife knew that he was from the future. He told her, and he told her about the guy in the basement, which makes sense. Sure, it can prevent Tommy from going down there, but what is he going to do about his wife? She'll want to know what he's keeping down there. Luckily for him, the guy doesn't start yelling all the time. But then again, he's his own brand of psycho. Right, so he's telling her, look what happened. And she asks him, "Do you regret any of it?" And Jean tells her, "No, as selfish as it is, I don't regret, meeting you, having Tommy." And then his wife tells him, you promised me, Sean Tucker, that you're going to kill him, the guy in the basement. For me, for your son, promise me. And he's just about to say, "I promise." And as soon as he says, almost utters the word, he gets pulled back. He gets pulled into a different time, I guess at that moment, that's it, Tommy died. Now, his wife does tell him that she knew that one day he would leave, but she didn't think, that she would no longer have Tommy as well. Oh, well, hopefully she still has all that money. Back then, at least she would be taken care of. So, Sean wakes up in an alley somewhere. He's now in the future. On the back it says it probably was Tokyo, the 22nd century, which with all the anime in there suddenly makes a lot more sense. He wakes up, he's disoriented, he's unmoored, which is another word for confused. I didn't know that. I learned a new word. Yeah, he's unmoored, confused, where he is, but he has to get his bearings quickly. A robot cop approaches him from behind. Not as cool as a RoboCop. Where's your ID? Where's your identification? Sean, he's with his back to the robot, and he said, I have it right here. He grabs the robot and destroys him, and takes note that it's not a humanoid, not a cyborg. He takes the gun that's attached to the robot's hand. Now, it's raining acid from there, so he looks in the trash for a raincoat. Because when the drops fall on him when he takes off his jacket, he notices that it hurts. So we see him wander the street a bit. He's going here. So we see the people with all the enhancements and shit. The usual kind of stuff you would expect. And he's now thinking, okay, where he is, where did he go? What is he after? And then he suddenly sees a shop where I guess they're doing more enhancements. And then he figures it out, and it's, let me read you what the company is. I'll leave the name here as well, but, let me just find it, as it is important. There we go. What is it called? Oh, there we go. Kang Turing. Kang Turing. That's a company. So he figures out that that's where he's going. So he heads to this place where they let you experience an alternate, a computerized reality. You put on some glasses as a tester, but then they can also implant something in you so you'll experience whatever you want. Kind of like in Inception, the movie. So he goes there. As he enters in, there's an anime girl appears, which after I finished reading and read that this is 22nd century Tokyo, I was like, okay. I can see why now. So he's like, do you want to experience something? Go to the good old days. And Sean's like, yeah, alright. Well, sign me up. They're very confused there because they can't identify him. Because now identification is in the fingers. Fingerprints, all that, everything's computerized. They scan everything, and it's weird that they can't scan him, obviously. So he goes up to this room. There's a very fucking creepy doctor kind of guy. He's mostly a robot. All his limbs there's a bit of his face that's still human-like. So he's like, do you want a taste before you decide? So Sean sits in the chair, he puts on the glasses, and he sees his wife and kid again. He just saw them, it was probably hours ago, but now it's been centuries. Obviously, Elise is long dead. And he's like, he feels like he's almost convinced to just leave it all and just stay with them there in the virtual world. But just for a second. The doctor, I'm calling him a doctor, but it's probably not really a doctor, more like the technician for this stuff. He's looking at all the images that Sean sees. It's like, this can be. I don't know what he means. I guess he means the 1950s, setting, the time period and everything. Right, Marcia? But he, he's looking, can't believe it. Suddenly behind him, Sean appears. And, he sits, and that's it. He's behind him. He's standing there. And then he asks him, where is Kang Turning? Kang Turning. Kang Turing. Where is it? And he's like, what are you talking about? And then Sean shoots him. Now, like he tells us inside his mind, it's killing is easy. Mindless even, but not killing is, what you really need to know how to do. And I thought at first he killed the guy, but no, he's still alive. Only thanks to the fact that he's a robot. And mostly now a cyborg. Where is it? Tell me, and if I'm impressed, I'll let you live. So he tells him, it's where the lights are, the big shiny building. So, Sean runs out. He fights a couple of more security robots. He smashes them. He gets shot, but he's okay. He sees some more arrive in the elevator, but then he jumps out of the window. Miraculously survives, though. Falls on some wire. Then jumps down and keeps going until he sees the building. He gets to it, and he follows the trail of the guy from in the basement. He has this name, and so I'm just gonna call him Mr. F, because that's how his name starts with an F. And I'll leave it up here now on screen. You can try it out for yourself. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. But as he followed his trail, you can see he already climbed up, broke a window, went into the ventilation shaft. You can even see he disabled the lasers, so Sean goes exactly after him. And he's like, what is he looking for? And then he goes down. So the thing with these two is, with Sean and Mr. F, is they're both from the future, but different futures. A machine in another future was built that could destroy everything. And Sean was sent from his future to disable this machine, to destroy it, and Mr. F was sent to turn it on. And they've been fighting ever since. They've both been trained for this. Now, I don't know if I think they're enhanced, both of them, somehow, because of how they fight. But I'm not sure. I thought, wait, Sean a robot, but it can't be. Because how did he produce a child if he's synthetic in some ways? So I'm gonna guess he's some kind of enhanced human or something. It's unclear because he says I'm in the future, but not my future. So I guess there's still more time till his future. It's confusing. You know how time travel gets. Right, so he finally, he's looking down there. Where's this guy? Also, I gotta love with all their enhancements, they couldn't fix his eyes, and he still needs his glasses. Which is interesting. But yes, he doesn't notice, but then behind him, Mr. F appears and kicks him. He took off the mask Sean put on him, and now he has sort of like straps of, not metal, it looks like leather, all over his face, except in the eyes and mouth. I'm not sure if he's disfigured, or maybe he needs it to be like that. It's unclear. Also, he has a lot of scars on his body, because while he was imprisoned in the basement for, I'm not sure even how long, I didn't even go pee. Maybe they don't need to pee? It's just all there was in the basement was a chair. And that's it. He was just sitting on the chair shirtless in a pair of pants. So, I'm not sure if he's... Obviously, Sean's been feeding him, but I don't know. Yeah, also I forgot to mention in the beginning, he asked Sean, do you ever wonder what would happen if you let me kill you, or if you killed me? And Sean tells him, every day. So yes, they're fighting. Mr. F tells him, I've done you a favor by killing your son. You've grown too sentimental. Your judgment's been clouded. Have you ever wondered, which one of us is actually the good guy? I have this conversation throughout the section. They're fighting. Sean manages to shoot him, but then he disappears. He runs after him, and he takes a wrong turn, and he sees Mr. F through a door with a round door with heavy glass. tries to shoot him through it. He's in front of some machine, Mr. F. I'm not sure what the machine does even, but he's in front of it. Mr. F, he's standing there, and Sean's like, "You killed my son." He's like, "You don't see the big picture." And suddenly security guards appear. I think they might be robots or something. They don't look the fucking same, but not that they're not. I don't think so. And Sean's like, no. They tell Mr. F to get down. He does. And they don't notice it, but Sean does. He takes a knife out of his sleeve, a dagger. And a knife? No, a knife. And then Mr. F's like, "Fuck this." And he kills one of the guards. And the reason Sean yells no is because... Okay, so how this seems to work is, as soon as they kill someone, doesn't matter who. I thought this only happened because he killed his son, but no, it doesn't matter. They kill someone, they get sucked to a different time. They're sucked. They get sent to a different time period. Both of them. You just have to kill someone. So then, the way a montage starts of Mr. F constantly killing people, so they would move, and they move in different time periods. Not even sure which ones. I think they go somewhere with French people. I don't know, they end up in a house with a baby. Anyway, each time Sean kills someone and they get sent back again. And then they end up in, I'm not even sure what time period, but it's in Russia, in a bathhouse. He's like, "Why are you doing this enough?" Jean tells him. What else does he tell him? Just a moment. So much dialogue in here, too. I don't remember all of it. But also throughout, it's a shame I can't show you, but throughout the whole comic, here talking to my dad and grandma, there's different art styles for every other time period they go to. And then, here we go, he tells him, you're evil, no other word for it. Sean tells Mr. F. Here we go. And then Mr. F tells him, "Your intangible connections made you blind. The fabric of our universe is riddled with cancer. We're the only cure." And then for some fucking reason, one of the men in the bathhouse jumps on Sean and tries to drown him. But I don't know why. I mean, I guess he can't jump both of them, but he starts drowning him, but then Mr. F yells, I think Mr. F yells no, and he kills the guy. And once again, they're sent to another time. Now, Sean is still underwater. He's in a river. And he manages to get back up. He grabs onto some stones, but doesn't help. He still falls down a waterfall. But he manages to live. He's alive. So I guess both of them... I don't know what really would happen if neither of them died. And do they age, both of them? Because Sean's been in the 1950s for 10... I probably arrived at the 40s. For 10 years. So I don't know. It's very interesting, all of it. Anyway, Sean goes... Sean managed to get out of the water finally. And he's like, "Where am I? It seems to be alone. No one's here." And yeah, everything is plants all around. Sean's finally lost his glasses, so I hope he can see well now. It looks like he needed them through the time periods. Gets up and starts going around. Mr. F is nowhere nearby, so either something got majorly fucked, or he's just somewhere in the same area, just not close to him. I'm not sure if they always land close to each other. It doesn't appear to be, because, So now thinking about it, how did Mr. F already get sent earlier from him to the future, but it took his son dying until he was pulled back? I don't know, actually. Unless Mr. F was just not there in the house anymore. Maybe he went to hide somewhere or went away, waiting for it. Perhaps, I think. But yeah. Anyway. Then Sean wonders there. His clothing is ripped as well. Like, where am I and what time am I at? And in the last page, we see him, looking around, and behind him there's a dinosaur. The end. That's where our story ends. Ooh, he's not gonna have a pleasant time when he turns around. Unless the dinosaur... I'm not sure what kind of dinosaur that is. It's not a T-Rex. I'm pretty certain of that. Let me look. I don't know my dinosaurs that well, but... I don't know. My apologies. It's probably a T-Rex. At least looks a lot like it. And it kind of slightly looks like Will Smith in the last page a little bit, if you squint. And you look from afar. Alright. Now let's get to the art then. Before I get to the conclusion. I'm glad I can show you... It's a shame I can't show you the whole thing, because the art in here is awesome. Alright, so you see this is the opening page. Wait, let me fix that glare. You see that's where the eye keeps growing until we see his pupil. You see? Look at that art style. I mean, fucking hell. That is awesome. Like, there's texture to the skin and everything. That is amazing. To the hair, to everything there. 1 second. Let me... That's unfortunately it. I can't show you anymore. I wish I could. There we go. You can see the mom's like, There he is. Look how beefed he is. See, that's Tommy. Poor Tommy. Such a cute boy. You poor little kid. See, that's the wife. See the look? Look how happy she is. It's a shame this happened to them. There we go. You see the radio's talking. Eat some, and then go fish. Now you can see, here's the radio, and then, the pools. Okay, so pools. And see, Sean gets so serious, like, no. What's the rule? Tommy looks so shocked. So yeah, this is awesome art style. I like most of the art styles. There was one I liked a little less, but it's a really cool idea that they did here to even more emphasize the different time periods they go to. Because in that montage, every time period we see them appear in, the art style changes. So that was really cool to see, like, you see the same clothes, the same two men, but in different textures and how their clothes and everything would look. And not to mention this cover. I mean, look at the cover. One smashing cover. Okay, there's the dinosaur. That's the dinosaur that attacks it, about to eat him, maybe. That's his home, and that's the guy, Mr. F. There you go, you can see him here. Unfortunately, I can't show you, inside. He's way more in. See there? There he is. Alright, so now to the conclusion. That's a fucking awesome cover. And that's the knife he's using, too. So, this is a really cool story. At the beginning is very gripping as well. You see how they did that. It's got some, again, amazing art styles. And the story itself is very interesting. So these two guys are now somehow connected in as it says, a vicious circle. I don't know why circle exactly. I guess maybe because it always continues this way. He kills someone, they get sent to a different time, and, they keep going in a circle around each other. And then Mr. F wants to turn on the machine that'll destroy the world, and Sean was sent to defend the world. But it's unclear how they see this would end, even. Will they both end the world? And what does Mr. F mean? Now, I know it seems like Mr. F here is the bad guy, He wants to destroy everything. But who knows? In this kind of story, I wouldn't be so quick to judge. We don't know the full thing or the companies that sent them, even. I mean, we know this machine, what it wants to do, but, it's never so clear in stories like these. Mr. F may look deranged and evil, but who knows? Hey, there's a reason behind why he's doing this, and maybe he knows something we don't. Again, don't know. Yeah, for now he looks like a fucked up man. But who knows? They might have a point. Hell, these two might work together in the next issue. You never know. But yeah, very cool sci-fi story. A cool beginning to it, indeed. Also a good pacing, how quickly it all turns bad and we're thrown into it and we follow Sean. And, poor Sean. Poor Tommy as well. But yeah, I wonder how we captured Mr. F in the beginning, even. Why Mr. F didn't resist or try to run off. Again, there's a sick, they have a bit of a sick relationship, as you can tell. But I guess we'll find out more as, I say find out more. There's only 2 more issues there are supposed to be. So we'll see how this one wraps up. But overall, a fantastic first issue. Very gripping. And a third time, art, fantastic. Just the art alone here is worth looking through this one. Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. I gave it 4 stars. Very good. Very, very good. I definitely want to read the other 2. Although, I went to previews, actually, to try to... Well, I tried, but to subscribe to this. And it looks like it's not even... doesn't even appear a second book. Which I suppose makes sense, because based on all the art styles, different art styles here, and I'm guessing it's going to take a little while to put this little thing together. Because again, the art styles are so detailed and so many different ones. Amazing. So yes, I think it'll probably be a while until we get the second issue, but I love this. I definitely want to buy the second one when it comes out. I look forward to finding out what happens next and how this will wrap up. As you can see, it's a 50-page book, I think, about. Alright, so that is it, folks. If you like sci-fi stories, I highly recommend you give this one a try. I think you might like it a lot. Yeah, it's got your time travel, your agents, your secret machines. It's got it all. So yeah, check this one out if you want to. If you like sci-fi, though. And if you're okay with a lot of violence. Because if not, maybe this isn't for you. Alright, so that is it, folks. Now remember, collect what you're passionate about and share it on YouTube. Bye!